area of all the triangles that make up the sides of the pyramid. So to do this, we're going to use our formula. Lateral area equals 1/2 perimeter times slant height. So I've got a little image over here of my base, and then I'm going to kind of build on it. But let's start with our perimeter. To do perimeter, again, it's like putting a fence all the way around. So you're going to do 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. So our perimeter equals 80. And then if we go back to our information that was given to us in the beginning of the problem, they automatically tell us that our slant height is just 8. So L equals 8. So you can go ahead and calculate those out, where you get 80 times 8, and you actually get, let's see, 640. So P and L becomes 640. And then we're going to take half of that because that accounts for the fact that they're triangles and not rectangles. And we're going to get that half of 640 is 320 square feet. So we've got our first step done, which is finding the lateral area. So I'm just going to transfer that over so that I can continue using that number. And my second step is to find the complete surface area, which just means, again, adding in that base, but this time instead of the perimeter, we're going to add in the area of that base. Here is a picture of my base, and to find area, you simply need to multiply your length times your height, or length times width, whatever you will. So for base, we're going to do 20 by 20, 20 by 20, 20 times 20. And when we do 20 times 20, we get 400 square feet. So 400 is for our base, and 320 is our lateral area. So to find surface area, all I have to do is combine the two. So I'm going to do 320 plus 400. And I'll go ahead and let you solve that right there. So you're going to figure out that part, and that's going to be square feet. So go ahead and figure out that last step and write the answer on your paper. But before we move on to practice, you actually have a problem that I'm going to have you attempt on your own. So let's move on and start example 3. For example 3, I actually have a real-life situation where you could kind of think about it this way. Say you were wanting to build a shed exactly like this, and you want to know how much, wood are you going to need to purchase in order to create this shed. So in order to do that, we'll want to kind of get a rough estimate of the surface area. So we're going to calculate the surface area of the shed. I do want you to notice that it has kind of two pieces we're going to have to figure out. The first being the bottom of the shed, kind of like the area where you walk into. And that area is going to be a prism. But there's something huge about this prism. It doesn't have a floor because the floor is going to probably be concrete, poured concrete. And it doesn't have a flat roof. So we're not going to include either of the bases. So really all we're solving for with this prism is the lateral area. And this is the lateral area for a prism, not the lateral area for a pyramid yet. So make sure that you're going back and you're doing the LA equals the perimeter. Oops, I forgot my equal sign. The perimeter times the height of the building, or the height from base to base. And then we're going to have to add to that the other half, which is actually the top of the shed where we have our roof. So our roof is in the shape of a pyramid. But again, we do need to notice something extremely significant, the fact that there's not going to be a bottom to this pyramid. It's actually just going to be, again, the lateral area of this pyramid. Lateral area only. So this means that we're just going to be using the lateral area of a pyramid. So this one is our new one. Where to find lateral area of a pyramid, because we have triangles, it's going to be 1/2 of the base times the slant height, which is going to be the distance from vertex to base. So hopefully this has given you enough information for you to get started. If you want to attempt to subtract out the door, I approximate that a door is usually 3 feet wide. If you want to approximate even more by taking out the window, I'll let you do those estimations yourself. As long as you can kind of verify them, of course I'll accept them. But in addition to your calculation, and this is for everyone, I want you to write a sentence explaining how the surface area was determined. So you should be able to write a sentence back for me explaining why we only used lateral areas, why we did not use any of our bases, the difference between a height and a slant height, why pyramids have half of the, the formula as compared to a prism. But hopefully just at least a good sentence to kind of help me understand, or help me prove to me that you understand what you're doing. So when you're finished with this, bring it up to me so that I can check it, and I will get you on to the next step.